There.
I already did.
Yeah, well, you hit
That
it,
kind of
but
night.
I didn't realize
I'd say it's that kind of night, but it's always that kind of night.
that.
Hold on. Let me mute myself. I can hear us in the background of my.
Hey, everybody.
Hi.
Happy
I mean,
Monday.
we're just having our thing. You guys
Right.
are along for the ride.
So this is K-pop Demon Hunters. This is actually from OAX that I started this, and I realized there's no way. This is a half an hour sketch. Uh, this is for John Hagashi, and he wanted one each half an hour. Well, there's no way that I could do this. So much reference, and I wanted to make it nice. So I decided I'd rather finish it here instead. So that's what we're doing. And I just spent the last half an hour trying to find reference. So I needed graphic tools.
So we've had Windstorm here again all week, all day. Sorry, not all week. It's like the second one, like 100-kilometer-an-hour winds. But so on the off chance that we lose power, like we did last time, that's what happens if the stream dies. That's the off chance.
All right.
It says your mic's not on.
Mine? Whose?
Yours. I don't think Dave's mic is on, he says. Or his mic is set to his cam.
Yeah, that's. Now I muted it. Hold on. Okay. Did that fix it?
I'll let you know.
I can hear you, says the Art Jedi. Good. I'm sorry. I've been talking this whole time.
Oh my god.
And so have you, by the way. So we've, like, I don't
well,
think.
I think my mic's on. Nobody said they couldn't hear me.
When Mighty R says it's fine. Okay, good. All right. Hi, everyone, again. Happy Monday again. So this is K-pop Demon Hunters. This is for John Hagashi, and I started this in OAX. And there was just no time. These were half an hour sketches, and we were timed to get through them all. And I wanted to do a nice job for John because I had known him for a long, long time. He's a great guy. And I thought this would be kind of fun to do on the stream. So I asked him if he'd be willing to let me just take it with me and finish it with you guys. So I got my work cut out for me tonight. I'm not sure exactly. So she's drawn in, sketched in. I'm going to start with this one next. And I'm just going to get going because, man, this is going to be a good amount of work. All right.
Are you drawing all three girls?
I'm going to get as much done as I can. Yeah.
Oh, it's not just one. It's
lead.
Like, you are losing
I
it.
know. It's a mess.
It's not Friday the 13th. It's Monday the 16th.
Well, be glad that all my tools are organized. So I know where things are. All right. Lead.
I mean, if nothing else, we're consistently bad and unprepared.
No.
I mean,
And
if you want unprepared,
I came down
if
and
you want a professional stream, don't come here.
oh man, no, please come here. But I started a half an hour in advance, but I wanted to find a really good book of the week, and I have one. I'm really excited about it.
Yeah, you've been down here since 20 after 6.
Oh yeah, well, you know, I thought I got time. I vacuumed a little, like it was kind of, you know, I thought, oh, I've got so much time, and then it ran away from me. All right, let me get my reference up.
JDSCT says that he's excited for this, but he's sitting down to watch Project Hail Mary, so he's going to come back.
Fair enough. Project Hail Mary.
Fine. I don't even know what that is, but fine.
It's by Andrew Weir, Jonathan. I read the book, and it was great. I haven't seen the movie yet, so I'm excited to see it. So I can't blame them. So what I'm trying to do is, these are very anime characters. I don't draw in that style. I tried with this one. I don't think I really pulled it off. I'm going to try with every one as much as I can to make it as anime as I can. But it's just not really what I do. So we'll see. He sent me home with like great reference, which I cannot.
You lost?
Find. Yeah, of course. Oh, and my pencil's an H. In my hurry, I got H lead. It's a little soft. So I'm going to be pretty loose with this because it'll get dark fast on me. I wonder, like, why is it so dark? Well, that's why. All right, keep talking.
Don't push so hard.
I'm not pushing hard at all, but it just goes on darker. Just the nature of it.
It's not the summertime humidity season.
Yeah, when I normally take this out.
And I don't know, like nobody expects you to draw in an anime style when they commission you to do.
No, I understand that, but me trying to draw an anime style is at least going to bring it closer in that direction. You see what I'm saying? Like I can't do, and I'm not an anime artist, so it's not going to really look like that anyway. But at least it'll be closer than if I just ignore all that. So I did a Sonic cover. Maybe we'll see. I did a Sonic cover twice now, and it goes to Sega. They have to approve it, and that's been a challenge. So they asked for changes. Basically, my proportions were wrong. They were, well, I don't know if they liked it. I hope they liked it, but my proportions were wrong. And this is me like drawing from the model. I did my best, and yeah, it was not right. And so I did it again, and then they actually sent a visual, like the artist there at Sega drew over my picture to show me because I wasn't getting it. That's where we're at. And so I still have to make the changes. I'm going to send them in this week, and hopefully it'll be enough. I'm going to keep doing it until they, either approve it or give up on me. But anyway, my point is that trying to draw like an anime style is not necessarily helping me get there. See what I'm saying?
Yeah,
All right.
I hear what you're saying.
I tried to shorten her. She's got this really cool staff, and I wanted to shorten it as much as I want it to be in the picture. I don't know that I'm going to be able, because it's so long at the end. So it's going to come off the edge. There's nothing I can really do about it. I would have to alter it in a way that would ruin it. So there's nothing I can do. Bad planning from the start. If this is going to whoever owns K-pop Demon Hunters, it would get rejected just based on that. I did actually. So when I did the art book last year, I'm just talking because you're not. I don't know why. So we did a stream. Was it 2 weeks ago? Like a art tutorial stream, which was a blast, by the way. I had a great time with that. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And so I talked the whole time, and Meredith really didn't talk because I was just talking art stuff, and so she was bored out of her mind. So I figured you'd be talking like crazy this time.
Well, no, I'm just reading. I'm reading the chats and paying attention. So we have a super chat from K Howard Artist. Hello, David. A quick question: how would you go about drawing bodies for characters who wear full armor sets? For example, Marcus Fenix from Gears of War.
That is a good question. All right, so. They're big, broad characters. I'm just going to draw my standard kind of body. This is like when I don't have a particular shot that I'm doing, I always basically revert to this kind of 3/4, whatever. But he's got big hands. So the first thing I need to do is just establish my body. His head should be relatively small because I want him to look massive. Short neck. I don't have reference for that in front of me. I played the games and they're great. It's been too long. So I'm going to be faking all of this, but the point will still be kind of the same. So here's his belt. I want a nice big waist. These are just big characters. That's all I'm going to draw because that gets the point across, right? And so what I did is I just used my same basic, my shoulder's a bit of a mess here, but my same basic shapes to create a body, and I'm going to lighten it down. And instead of anatomy, I want to make sure that that shape works well enough, and then I've got everything established. Now I'm going to go ahead, and I'm just making up armor because I can't remember what it looks like, but I've got a big armor plate over his shoulder here, and so I'm going to draw it. And I know where my shoulder is. I've got the body established under there. You know what? I'm switching heads. I'm going to lose my mind. Can't do it. Can't do it. I've got another pencil here. Just doesn't have tape on it. All right. Okay. Oh, there we go. So, and now for my chest, I'm going to draw like a big chest plate. It could have detailing on it. All that stuff is really secondary. The point is that it's following the initial anatomy that I had. I could put some things in here, whatever, a big plate here. And I apologize again for not drawing that particular armor, but you can see this is like a mechanical stomach almost. You see this very commonly in, robot type figures. Give them like a big round kind of gear here. this is around where his hip bone would be here, but this is basically where something like that would kind of traditionally get placed. Big armor piece here. Another one here. So I'm doing kind of like anatomy a little bit, but with big armor pieces. And I could put like a big hunk of something up here. But this is how you do it. So you want to make sure that your underlying body is all established, simply because you don't want to drive yourself crazy doing things, that are a waste of time. And then you can add all the pieces to it, and it gets pretty easy. Where it gets difficult, obviously, is when you have to draw this guy again. I mean, this is the one thing. I can draw one of these guys pretty quickly, but then if I need to draw, different angles, now all of a sudden I'm having to look at my initial drawing, and it gets much more difficult because this is almost like an anatomy of its own, remembering where all these pieces go. But that really is the entire approach. It's really not more difficult than that. It really is what it is. And then another big difference is, unlike anatomy, you have a lot more cast shadow with armor. So I'm going to light them from above. I'm going to cast a shadow from this piece here onto what's below it, cast a shadow here. And I'm just going to start establishing my lighting just by casting shadow, because it is such I've got a shadow here. I've got like some kind of round piece here. I cast a shadow, see, and that gives it some depth in there, just like that. Super easy. And this isn't a cast shadow. This would be like a body shadow. But under here, this would be a shadow you'd have in anatomy too. But here, like this shadow would be very different because this is an overlying piece. I want to get that across by overlaying it like this with a shadow. And this is the difference when it comes to making this stuff look believable. I've got a piece in here, and so I left a gap here, and that raises it. So basically this is above what's behind it here, and I can just define that with shadow super fast. And so, yeah, just using simple cast shadow like this, you can get so much believability and depth out of something before you really even worry about your overall lighting and, anyway, whatever. You get the picture. Moving on.
All right. Next super chat comes from Allison McGlone. She said, I can help with the manga look. Just saying.
Yeah, she certainly could. That is very true. Allison is incredibly good at this kind of work. This should be Allison's stream right now.
And Greg Static Art says, good to see you guys are safe. We are safe. And nothing, well, a tree blew down in our front yard. No damage because it was already dead. And
we had a dead tree that
saved us from having to call the tree people because it also pulled the roots out.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. You know how much money that's it's crazy. Like, so this has been a year.
Those are thank you, Jesus moments.
Wanted to get around to it. We didn't get around to it. Next thing you know, the falls down with the root attached.
My dad kept saying, I want to take that tree down. I'm like, it's going to be fine. I just kept saying, we don't need to take it down right now. And maybe because God was telling me he was going to take it down for me.
Apparently so. There you go.
And so now my dad has the fun job on Friday of coming over with his chainsaw and chopping it into burnable pieces.
Oh yeah, well he's pumped. That is when your dad is having the most fun in life.
Yeah, and he's gonna make Isaac help.
See, this is where
I'm not sure who that's gonna be more painful for.
I'd rather be out there doing that.
Isaac or my dad.
I just don't have time. It's very frustrating.
Well, it's not nice weather right now, so
I'd still rather be out. Yeah, come on. Cutting a tree in little pieces with a chainsaw or working.
You keep going to conventions.
Well, I won't be at one this weekend, but I've got so much work to do.
Did you turn your page today?
No, so my pages are behind you. I have been doing them. I haven't turned it in. And it's finished too. I need it. You know what? I'll do it tonight. I'll make sure to turn it in. So, okay. I have been falling behind with work, and it's been a real problem. And when I was at Marvel, this was never such a problem. And it was because I had to turn in pages every day. Like every day they would expect, where's today's page? And if they didn't get a page that day, I'd practically have, an ambulance here. I mean, it was serious business, but it kept me on schedule. And I've been having a lot of trouble. And so I told Meredith, you know what, I need to just be responsible for making sure that when I finish my page every day, or if I don't finish, I turn in what I have, because it keeps me accountable. And so here we are a week later and I haven't done it, but I have been working and I'm going to do it. I'll do it tonight. Here's the problem. The minute I do it, and I start doing that, then it's obvious how far behind I am. As long as I'm not doing that, then they guess
Well,
maybe,
yeah, you're far behind.
and they know. It's not
So
like they don't
just
know.
Nobody, yeah, you're not fooling anybody
I
except
know.
yourself.
Yeah, so many artists stop answering the phone for the or don't answer email. Well, I've done that too, but because hey, if you don't answer, then they don't know. Yeah, no, they know.
They do know.
They do
That's
know.
why they get stressed and you don't answer.
Yes. It is always so much worse. Like if you're behind, they don't like it. If you're behind and they can't get a hold of you, well, that's when it's a real problem. And that's when it's like, I don't care how much they like you, and hopefully they do. They can't work with that because, well, I think the reasons are pretty obvious.
All right. Circle of Matt says, glad you're back, DNM. We're glad to be back.
Yeah. Thanks for being back with us. Apologies about last week, by the way. Monday, I couldn't do it. I had work. I had no choice but to turn in. Speaking about being behind. And then on Tuesday, we had hail potentially. Meredith freaked out. I had put a link up and Meredith said, no, we have hail. The horses are going to have to come in. They ultimately didn't come in and we didn't end up doing the stream. So it's a double fail.
K. Howard Artist says, thank you for the previous super chat. Helped a lot. Next question. How do you blend the wrist shading into the forearm, into the hand?
The wrist shading into the forearm, into the hand. Okay. Let's see. I'm going to sharpen my pencil. So I'm going to draw the outside of the forearm. The inside's its whole thing. It's like a whole other thing. And so we're going to have to kind of pick one here. But here's my wrist. Here's my hand. Tell me if I'm off camera because I can't see. I've got my reference up. My hand's not going to be perfect because we're moving quick. Okay, so the first thing to bear in mind, on the back of your hand, you have tendons right here along your thumb. You can see that runs right up and into your arm here. And so I want to establish that here. And now this bone intersects into that. And really, the fact is that in order to do this properly, you need to know your anatomy. So that's always going to be factor one. I've got these tendons here. I kind of went a little wide with my hand and I'm losing room for my fingers. So we're going to adjust that. Since I don't have a whole body drawn in, it's easier for me to just adjust the wrist. I try and be quick and loose and it just gives me more trouble. Okay. And this is all wrong. Hold on. Okay. So I've got that. I'm going to give it just a little bit of a bump here, and that's just going to be this curve here. It's going to come out into the knuckle for my thumb here. I've got like this muscle in here, and you can see how it has an indent in here. It's like a rounded muscle here. So I want to kind of define that here. And then in my forearm, I've got this muscle. This kind of connects up into here. And you really have to have a general idea of how these muscles kind of fit in here. But I can see how this could be a confusing problem. This is going to be all night. I'm sorry, Meredith, but the fact is that I can't show this quickly. And it's a really good question. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with line weight, and hopefully you can see that I'm doing that. I'm lighting it again. My standard kind of lighting for when we do this is kind of this direction. So it's going to be heavier lines away from the light and especially heavier as it curves down from the light. So my knuckle, I'm going to make a little bit thicker here. It's going to be thicker again here. It's very standard how this works. I want to really work with, so this is basically a line of beauty here. I don't want just a flat shape. It's just boring. And I don't even think it would really be that kind of a shape on your actual hand. I gave it a little cut in here just because it does kind of cut up there. And it just looks nicer. Same thing again. I didn't just draw a curve there. I drew a bit of a curve and then an outside curve and another cut. So, I mean, you could call it a bit of a trope. There is just a curve. Like I do it all over the place. Same thing here, like same shape. It's amazing how much mileage you could get out of the same thing, and it just works. This is why, like, you know, as you're learning how to draw, you can make so much ground just with like a simple kind of artistic discovery because it affects everything you do. All right. So there's my hand, kind of. It's not the best, but it's a hand. I've decided, I guess, I'm lighting it from this side. So this muscle, I want to define with a bit of a thicker line here. I'm going to draw a bit of a connection here. I don't want to get too carried away. Start drawing in my shadows. And it's all about just connecting your shapes together. And then using line overlaps like I did here. I want to make sure that this is visually in front of this. So I did that. I'm going to define that shape here. I want to be pretty careful with that to not get too carried away. Draw a little bit of that indent. Now that's rounded up toward the light. So I want to be very careful with that. And then I like veins. So, you know, veins are very easy to establish. You just draw a few squiggly lines through, and then you just stop. When you're drawing your tendons upward, you just stop against it and just create a little bit of line weight, very similar to what we did here. And it reads like a vein very easily. Maybe not the most anatomically perfect vein in the whole world, and this is where things start getting a little bit weird. And I say that because I only sort of know what I'm doing. Yeah, ultimately. Like, look at this. I feel like I went the wrong side. You know what? Let's fix this. I'm already forgetting my own lighting. I want to be heavier on this side because my light's coming from this direction. And hopefully this will actually make this make a little bit more sense. So I don't really know in here that well. So I always kind of fake it. And I think, honestly, this is kind of true for most artists. Like, it's very difficult to know exactly how every single muscle fits together, which is why having some tricks and just simple techniques is a really very useful. Because, like, I like putting a vein on the back of the arm here, and I just do it like that. I just draw a line through and then stop it and then start it again. And it looks like a vein kind of coming through the arm, and it always works for me. I like it. I do it so many places. I wonder, like, do you guys notice that when you look at my artwork, all of the things that I just do over and over again, just like a tick? Like, does it stand out like distracting, or do you not notice it until I mention it? And I don't really know. I'm going to draw more of a cast shadow here, cast some shadow here. What I want to avoid is putting too much detail up here because it's more toward the light. And the thing is, I could draw all of this stuff all connecting together. But if I do that, I'm going to have something that looks really alien and like there's no skin on it. So I want to be careful to not do that. So I just want to do a bit of an indication of some things in here. I'm almost done.
Yeah, Dave.
Yeah.
Because it's the K-pop Demon Hunter stream.
I know.
And this has been going on for a while.
Okay, I'm almost done.
5.
So there you go. It's
4.
about knowing. It's about knowing where the bones are. You got a bone protruding out here. This is a bit of a ridge here. Knowing kind of how the basics connect, and then faking it from there. I mean, you know, the better you know your anatomy, the less you're faking it. You can see how much I'm faking it, and that's just that's the reality of the situation. There's so many areas of anatomy where, when it comes to smaller details, I truly am faking it, unless I get reference and the whole thing, and which is great for. You know, for like something really detailed, I might actually take a photograph of my hand or something if I need to. For the most part, unless it's a really big picture, really specific lighting, I fake it, just like the rest of us. All right, I'm done.
Back to the K-pop.
See, this is that bone there.
And even really rough, like we're already at 7:30.
Okay, I know.
You haven't done more than rough in a character.
See, the problem is that they were very good questions.
The next tutorial stream will be in 6 months. It's got to be, these got to be fast.
All right, well, moving on. All right, moving on.
Move along. Move right along. So, if anybody wants to know, we have watched part of the K-pop Demon Hunter movie. but it was not Dave's thing.
Yeah, I have to admit,
He does not like musicals.
I struggled with it.
Singing, no for Dave. He did not enjoy it. So I will have to watch it sometime when he's at a convention.
I was trying to sit quietly and not complain, and I was not able to do that. It's just not for me. I mean, obviously it's great, but yeah, different things for different people.
Yeah, I don't particularly like zombies, and yet that's all you play on your video game. When I look up and I have to see a zombie munching on your jugular vein.
Yeah, you always look up when I die.
I always do. Well, you know why I look up when you die? Because you go, oh, and then I look up.
Like, what happened?
Yeah, like what's going on?
And then
Oh,
me
yes.
getting eaten by a zombie again.
Yeah, there you go.
Again. All right.
Zalith has a question on a super chat. What advice would you give for drawing characters and having them appear East Asian? What facial features differ from Caucasian faces? Sorry, apologies for the yawn. And are there any artists who do it well that you'd recommend studying?
Okay, so I'm going to preface this by saying, and this is something I've thought about a lot, is there are broadly differences between us, obviously. I'm always sensitive about, because I think drawing accurate people from different groups is so important. But I'm sensitive about saying, you know, there's this and there's it, and I don't want to just, you know what I mean? It could be taken the wrong way. I hope you understand. So I haven't really covered that, and I do think it's important. Like I wouldn't want to be drawing, since I draw being a white guy and drawing superheroes, which were, I mean, much more kind of white guys for, you know, a very, very long time. It's more what I'm used to, and it's something I've had to study. And so I put thought into it, but yeah. So, okay, I'm going to say, so if I do my standard eye, and this is basically, let me just say, if I'm drawing, what's your name?
Psylocke?
Thank you, Psylocke. This is kind of what I would do. So my standard eye would be like this. Okay. And so for me to draw Psylocke, I would just go a little bit more like this. I would bring up the underside just a little bit, angle it slightly more up, but you don't want to, like, what you want to avoid is devolving into caricature. So it's very subtle differences. So I just bring it up at the outside just a little bit, and it's not quite as open. It's just slightly more like, I don't know, cat-like. And so that's how I would approach it. The truth is that really is the only difference. I think if you look at somebody that does it really well, you'd find much more, you know, substantial and probably better differences. I don't really know. I'm thinking who to recommend. I remember Mark Silvestri actually did really great Asian characters in Wolverine years and years ago. His Wolverine run, he did it very, very well. He's just so incredibly good. But that is the difference. And you can see how, I mean, it's so incredibly subtle. So I'm kind of the wrong person to ask. And I try to do that here a bit, you know.
Bernard Chang? Who said that? Somebody said that.
As a good source?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, okay. First of all, Bernard Chang as a
Kevin
source
West
of
says Bernard Chang draws different ethnicities very well.
Well, he draws everything very well. He is great.
And
Really nice guy too.
Monkey Dude says, I would say the nasal bridge is something important to pay attention to when drawing Asian faces.
Yeah, and see, this is where like there are differences, and these are broad differences. Obviously, I mean, there's so much diversity in the way we look um, in groups. So you can't just put like this, and there you go. But yes, I mean, those are all things to kind of look out for. I would say doing studies is a great way to go to get a sense of it. I wouldn't really call it. My strong suit. I really tend to draw kind of the same face over and over again. And then if I draw the same face from a different ethnicity, the changes that I make are so minimal that, I mean, ultimately the difference between us are minimal.
Adam Meyer has a super chat. Adam says, "Hey, D&M, I didn't realize you were going to Emerald City. I would have come down and said hello."
Oh, yeah. Well, it's too bad. It was a good show. It was a long show, 4 days. This is why, like, I got back on Monday. I would have done the stream because I got back Monday at 8 o'clock. I hadn't slept all night. I would have weathered through it. I would have been all right. But I left on Wednesday. And I turned in all the work that I had to turn in, like everything that was like due, and it was a problem. And I thought, okay, good, I'm good. And then I got an email saying they needed something that they had asked for 2 weeks ago. I totally forgot about, and they needed it ASAP. And I tried to call, and I couldn't do it until I got home.
It was not ASAP.
Well, it was, but unfortunately,
Your ASAP was when you got home.
Yeah, it was bad. There's nothing I could do about it. But when I got home, I had to finish it, and it wasn't super fast to finish. So by the time I didn't finish, actually, it was probably about 6:45 by the time I finished and managed to come upstairs. So yeah,
Not ideal.
not ideal.
And Moon has a super chat. Hey, Dave, question. I've been learning digital painting. What advice do you have for learning use of shape and value as a line art oriented penciler?
That is such a really good questions today, actually. It doesn't necessarily mean that I'm the best at answering them, unfortunately, but that is a great question. It's something that I've struggled with. I found, for me, the best advice that I got was from Assad Ribic, who is, wait, you remember Assad?
No,
Yeah. And he recommended that I just get a big brush, like a huge brush, and just paint and not be able to use a small brush at all and just paint in blocks, because it means that you're looking at, like when you look at any kind of a thing in life, it's not lines delineating things. It really is shapes. And so if you start trying to just represent those shapes as just big shapes and not worry about the detail, it really starts making you think that way. And it does make a very big difference. So I would say I would take Assad's advice. I mean, one of the greatest painters on the face of the earth. He's incredible. I mean, you guys know. Working with a huge brush, whether you're working traditionally or digitally, I think it's a great way to go. Just, working quickly and doing studies where you can't detail and you're forced to think about things, in those terms. It makes a big difference. Certainly did for me.
Anthony G says, I was going to take my son to Emerald City Comic Con and stop by to say hi, but he was misbehaving. So I told him we weren't going, but it was a double-edged sword.
It's too bad.
Oh, it sucks when that happens. Kids, why do we have to parent?
Well, at least he's here now. And there goes my thing right off the page. There's nothing I can do.
You did say it was going to happen.
Yeah, it was that, or, I always say no excuses. Like, you can't make excuses when it comes to art, because people look at it and it is what it is. And your excuses mean nothing, because it's not like you can put notes on the picture saying, oh, but this happened. And here I am making excuses.
Wow. We forgive your excuses.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
I mean, I can say that because
you don't care.
I don't. Well, you know, I care in the, you know,
In quote unquote kind of way.
yeah. It's not the my world won't end.
Right.
So, what were you working on today, David?
I was working on a terminal page.
Are you allowed to say that you're working on that?
Yeah.
I was announced that you're.
Yeah, it's been shown. So yes, I can say that that is the book that I'm currently working on. And it's been a blast. It's been a lot of fun. I went through a series of pages that like were very, very cool, but a real hassle to draw sometimes, you know. I have things that I feel comfortable drawing and then things that I don't. And it was definitely hard into the I'm not comfortable drawing this category. But I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. And now, like today's page was back to my comfort zone a little bit more. So it was nice. I had a good time today.
So Eric just sent me a picture of Brooklyn, his daughter's drawing along because she too likes K-pop.
Oh, yeah.
So
That's
real
awesome.
fun for the whole family.
Mm-mm. I can't really see if I can zoom in a little bit. I can't see what I'm doing here.
That's your old eyes.
Yeah, well, and these are character designs for animation, like 3D animation, where intricate details aren't really an issue. You're not having to redraw it every time. Whereas, here I'm having to redraw it. Well, I'm only having to draw it once. It just means what I'm saying is it's a very detailed character with a lot of little tiny finicky detail that I'm not going to get right. Doing like indication of detail because it's the best I can do. Honestly, drawing this would take me a long time if this were like had to be really tight.
Yeah, they're a very detailed.
Well,
Are those the right costumes?
These are the ones that John Higashi wanted. Yeah.
Okay.
They have a few different costumes. That was why I spent so long trying to get reference. He sent me home with reference, which I promptly lost. But I knew what he wanted, and so I was trying to find something that I couldn't find the particular. Anyway, I got reference.
That's not the costumes I remember from like.
Right. They have a lot of different costumes in the show.
Well, that makes sense. They're women.
They are.
Ramen Noodle has a super chat. Hey, David, I've been drawing for 6 months, mostly copying Batman art and studying fundamentals, but can't make any original art. Any tips?
Well, yes. And so the tip is it's always the same. And that is there is ultimately a very big difference between copying something and doing it yourself. Learning how to do it yourself, it's fundamental to do copies and studies. You have to. But to learn how to do it yourself is a different thing. And that is really when it comes down to drawing simple forms. Like you need to get comfortable, and I say this all the time, but the fact is you need to get comfortable drawing simple tube form figures where you can get across a whole figure really, really quickly and iterate a lot of different ideas and designs and get figures on the page. So if you have a page with 5 different figures and they need to be working together, you can't be detailing that. You need to just block them in and then kind of work from there. And that's something that you can't fake. It's something you have to study. It's fun to study though. It's fun to do just really quick, simple shape drawings. So that is number one. And then you need to learn anatomy, which is a tougher, longer thing to do. I mean, the fact is it's an undertaking. There's no two ways about it, but it's a very doable thing. You pick one part of anatomy at a time. You pick arms and legs and whatever it is. And legs are not just a leg. It's the leg from the front, from 3/4, from the side, from the back. And it takes time to really internalize all this stuff. Is not fast. Until you've done that, you will struggle to draw on your own. So if you're just doing studies of like drawing, Batman, that kind of thing, it is not enough. It's important and it's good that you're doing it, but you need to be doing your foundational fundamental studies also. And that will put you on the road to being able to do it well yourself.
Right.
See what her feet look like. In order to get the reference I needed, I've resorted to looking at a toy. This is actually action figures that I'm copying these costumes from.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, they look great, you know.
Well, they do. Okay, another question. I thought this is a good one. For N. Fairdiddy. How do you stop being afraid to just start?
Stop thinking of starting as drawing the picture of, you know, having to take it on. That it's a problem. You know, if you're having trouble because you're overwhelmed, it's because you're staring at a blank page, and there's just so much that goes into that. Like, you know, all your lighting, all of your decisions have to come together to make an image that really works. You can't approach it that way and not go crazy. What you need to do is just not even, so let's do it. And this will be fast, Meredith, so don't worry. So I'm going to draw Wolverine with Cyclops. And so here's my page. And I'm not even going to worry about figures yet. I'm going to think to myself, you know what? I kind of want Wolverine to be basically here. And then maybe Cyclops can be here. And so there you go. I've got my page kind of thought out right there. And how hard was that? I mean, that's pretty easy. Then from there, I can start working out figures. And I know where I need that figure to fit. Like, I'm going to give Wolverine an arm here, another one here, and here's a leg. So here's my Wolverine. He's angry. And then here's my Cyclops. And he's going to be blasting up like this, I'm thinking. But the point is, I can think about these figures now in a framework that I've already kind of established. And I'm still going so loose that, you know, I don't like Cyclops. Let's just totally change him. I'm going to blast him out straight up, whatever. I don't know. It doesn't matter. But the point is that I can just think about things really, really fast, try different ideas. And I'm not worrying about this whole picture and all these decisions that go into it. Once I have this, and this is a mess, I know, but that's the point. Then I can start detailing. Once I'm happy with that, I can start figuring out where all my anatomy goes. And that's the only thing I need to worry about. Nothing else. Just making sure all my forms work. And don't worry about the rest of it. All the lighting, all that kind of stuff. It's not important yet. It's just making this work. Once you have that, now you have so much that, hey, you're so many decisions have been made for you. You're not taking on the entire project at once. You can't look at it that way. I hope, and I do think that that actually should really help.
I think so. The problem is starting is when you think that the starting is a finished picture. Right,
like buildings. So hard to draw buildings, all these little windows, all this detail. It's like, it's so much, it's overwhelming. Well, you know, a building is a box. It really is a box. That's all you need to worry about to get that building placed in there. And then when you get the box, you start dividing it down into windows and whatever, but get the boxes working first. Don't worry about all the other stuff. You can't solve everything at once.
All right. Edward Lee, Dave, this is with the super chat. When you get your book of the week, can we see the Sonic cover if you have time? No. Unfortunately, you can't see it.
I don't see why not.
Yeah, because it's going to be, you know.
Nobody cares. It's not. Yeah, no, I'll show you guys.
All right. Oh, you guys are just like, it's all the in crowd here. Get all the secret stuff. I say no, Dave's like, oh, yeah, you can.
Just bear in mind when you look at it, this is the rejected version. So, you know, yeah, this is not a Sonic, like a, what's the company? What is it? Sega approved Sonic.
All right. And then a super chat from Adam Meyer. Also want to mention it's the last couple of days for the Cyberforce Volume 2 Kickstarter, which I believe has a lot of your artwork, correct? Issues 14 to 25.
It does. That's like pretty much. Mark did issue 14. Mark did the cover for issue 15, and issue 15 was my first issue of Cyberforce. And I did all of those issues. I think there may be a fill-in, but I don't even think there is. No, I think there is. There is one fill-in. Yeah. I didn't even know that was happening.
Well, now I do.
That's awesome. Top Cow has their talent contest coming up, by the way, too. I don't know how many of you guys have been looking at that. It's 8 pages. You have to pick either a darkness or a Witchblade story. 8 pages, that is a commitment. And you have to know that when you turn in pages, they're going to look at page 1. And for the most part, that'll be enough. So you'll do 8 pages of work. And for a lot of people, it will not even be seen. But the point of that is, if they like what you did on page 1 and then on page 2, and they want to keep going, then that gives them enough information. You're covering enough ground that it answers so many questions for them. Because you can really tell with artwork right away, whether it's what you're looking for or not. And then just making it 8 pages is going to eliminate a lot of people, because it's a big job. So, you know, you don't get somebody just casual. You get somebody that is serious about wanting to do it. So I think it's a good way to go. And I just want to point out that they are a phenomenal company to work for, not only in terms of business, which is important because you get paid, you know, and that can be a problem some places. Top Cow is a very honest company. It's run by Mark Silvestri, who is an artist, and he understands what it's like. So I don't think you could possibly do better than to get a chance to work there. Everyone will see what you do if you're there across the industry, which is very important. And it's a place where you can learn. Mark is very generous at teaching what he knows. He doesn't do it online, but when he does do it, it is gold. So yeah, anyway, I highly recommend if you guys are going to do it. I would always love to do like a stream where we look at some of the work that people are doing for it, if you guys are participating.
Venimal Art has a super chat. Wondering what David's mindset is on different mediums. I can imagine he likes trying other mediums in his spare time, if there's any, or deliberate focus.
I like both. I love trying different things. In some ways, I feel a little guilty because I have artists on and I try these like different techniques that are incredible. And then I kind of move on because I do have to also focus on, like, I know what I'm aiming for. And so I need to focus on that. As much as I love trying different stuff, I do it a real disservice by, you know, hey, let's do watercolor, and that's coming up. And I do one of them. Well, the watercolor I'm going to do is not good. In a lot of ways, that's also for you guys, because you get to watch the incredible artists that I am fortunate enough to have on. And so even though I'm, you know, on the stream embarrassing myself with my picture, they're doing great work and you know, explaining what they do in ways that are very useful. So yes, I do believe in focusing, and I have I have the way that I'm trying to learn how to paint, and I have been for a long time, and it's something I've been focusing on. I think you can do both. I think it's a mistake if you just different things all the time and you don't have any focus. That can start to be a problem, I'm sure. But
All right. The Wolf Master has a super chat. Hey, David, are you ever going to re-release the Gnomon Workshop David Finch tutorial DVDs? Maybe release them independently. How do you erase over ink?
you know what? Speaking of that, by the way, check out what I got from Gnomon Workshop. This, I had my coffee in it, but yeah, I was just using this today. They just sent this along with like a shirt and, you know, some cool stuff. I cannot release the Gnomon Workshop stuff because they own it. So it's not mine to release, but I think that you can go on their site and I'm sure they have it available actually. Not as a DVD, unfortunately, but, and sorry, what was the other question?
How do you erase over ink?
You can't. Okay, short answer is you can't. The not very long, but actual useful answer is Posca. So for instance, like her shoulder here, it's a little kind of messed up. I'm gonna fix that. And I've used this like ink. I mean, in that I don't want that line there. I end up going through a bit of a pass. If and her arm's too thick there, like if I'm doing more of a completed picture, generally speaking, my pencils are a little tighter and I don't have to do that quite as much, but I still do it. So yeah, that's really how you do it. You just use Posca. So you don't want to be inking when you're making major decisions. Otherwise, your whole page is going to end up being Posca all over the place, which I've done that too.
I was going to say, not that you haven't done that.
Oh yeah, no, I've done it. I had a double page spread, and 2/3 maybe even of the double page spread is just a sheet of Posca. This is what you get for not working on the computer. Picture's coming, Meredith. It's coming along.
You almost have the third character roughed in.
Yeah, and it's not even time for the book of the week, so chill, man.
That's not my nature. That's why we work together.
Yeah, it's true.
It's so quiet.
It's because you're not talking.
I'm reading the stream, and it's hard to talk and read. There are a lot of things I can do at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Talking and reading, not one of them.
Not one of them. Yeah, I can see that.
So, here we go. Monkey Dude wants to know, how would you compare your Gnomon stuff to the Proco course?
The Gnomon stuff, it is me drawing a cover from start to finish. And then it's all sped up double speed. It's very long anyway. And then the audio is done separately. And so it's really me watching with very few edits and just basically going on and on about what I was thinking when I was drawing it. I think that I tried to get across as much as I could, and I don't think it was bad. But yeah, so when I do the YouTube tutorial videos, they have a bit more of a focus, and I try and go in like I'm worrying about one specific thing, and all my examples are in support of that one thing. When you're drawing a cover or like a picture, you can't really do that. You're solving the problems that come up. And so then it's me talking about those problems and what I'm thinking about and my approach for doing it. Okay, we're talking about the Proco thing.
Mm-hmm.
So the Proco thing is the same exact thing. I drew it and then talked afterwards. So why am I'm like contrasting basically the same thing. Yeah, it's the same thing. I don't know how much, like I'm sure it's sped up. I didn't have control over that. Just like the Gnomon one, I didn't have control over how sped up it was or how slow, but yeah, they're very similar. The problems you run into like drawing pages, working from a script are different. And so I guess if there's a difference, that would really be it more than anything. It's one is dealing with storytelling, making sure that panels work together and there's a flow and designing a page, that kind of thing. The other one is cover design. And in the Proco one, there's also inking. So I inked my own page and I used a few different tool kind of methods. Basically these tools here and traditional brush and quill, which I'm awful at. And actually the Gnomon one, Joe Weems did the inks for that and did his own Gnomon video for it, where he runs through how he works with a quill. And I want to say I learned a lot actually from that. I don't use a quill now. Quills are hard, but The reason I don't use a quill, they're not so like I can get the same effect. What I can't really do though is draw with a quill, because you can't kind of go back and forth and be a little more sketchy. Like I can pull a line. I would do the same thing with a quill, but if I want to kind of start drawing back and forth, the quill will catch the paper and spray. So you need to know where your line is and be dealing with that line specifically. That's really how inkers work properly. Like good tight inkers are. So I've got the line for the top of her hair. I haven't drawn it in yet, but I'm going to turn my page, line up my hand. I know I want it to be basically here, and then throw that line. That's how you work when you're an inker. I don't work that way. I'm just drawing with ink. It's not really inking.
All right. Darmax 26. So we have Cyberforce and had Fathom Omnibus on Kickstarter, but no Ascension. You have to twist Mark's arm for this.
Yeah, and I mean, no saying that it couldn't happen. It would be nice to see it happen. I'd be thrilled. Love to see it. I really wanted to do a cover actually for Witchblade, which came out like it was a whole Witchblade thing. And I said that I would do it too. Oh yes, I will do it. I said I would do it. And I couldn't. Time just got away from me and I wasn't able to do it. So, Mark might have lost my number. That might be the end of it for me. I don't know.
Maybe.
Yeah, he's pretty forgiving. He knows how it is.
He's done with you.
All right. And then David Vasquez has a super chat. Hey, Dave, would you rather have Wolverine's healing factor or Cyclops optic blast?
Well, I go with the healing factor. I mean, obviously, what am I going to do with an optic blast? I'd take the one that, you get into a car accident and you're all right versus the one where I would have to actually be trying to kill somebody in order for it to be useful. So yeah, there you go. I can't believe we're asking that question.
Oh, come on. Maybe somebody wants, to be able to blast their enemies.
I'm sure. And if you do, then Cyclops your choice. Cyclops he's like the team leader. That's really his main thing. That blast is, they use it, but it's not really the kind of power that has, like, you could not have a Cyclops series that would be very easy to pull off. There are writers that could do it, I'm sure, but it would be hard. You call him like a supporting character. He's the team leader, but in terms of narrative, he's a supporting character.
Poor Cyclops.
Poor Cyclops, I know.
He's just there to be the person that pines for Jean Grey.
Yeah, and cuts the flack it gets all the flack when things go wrong. And has a lot of family.
He has a lot of family?
Yeah. Well, he's got his brother, that's Havoc. Then he has his daughter, that's Hope.
Hope is not Cyclops' daughter.
Oh yeah, you're right. That's
Hope is Cable's daughter.
Cable's
You don't really
daughter.
know what you're talking about.
I know. I even drew Cable with her attached to his chest.
I don't even read comics, and I know more about these things than you.
I know that. I drew covers with little baby Hope attached to it.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening to you right now. Craziness.
Well, they have the same name. Close enough. Maybe Cable is his son. I've forgotten. I don't know.
Well, that I can't help you with. I only know so much. I know that Hope
is Cable's daughter. Yeah. Yeah, no, you're right.
All right. Next super chat comes from, hold on, I gotta check that one that I read it. From Sheldon Martin. Sheldon wants to know, what was it like writing? How long did an issue take, and will you do it again?
That's for you.
Are you sure?
Yep.
Sure it's not for you? Because you wrote.
That's for you. Okay, I'm just going to answer quickly, like as if it were for me, because I don't think it is. I will never write again. Not like that. Like, it's fun to contribute an idea here and there, but actually writing, man, that's a job, and I hate it. Like, it's a hard job. I like drawing. A big part of it is I can sit and just, like watch Formula One while I draw, or book on tape or whatever it is. You can't do that if you're a writer. Like, you need to be focused, and I find it very difficult to just focus. Okay, and not suggesting somehow that, oh yeah, if only I could focus, I'd be Stephen King. That's not what I mean. I mean that I don't enjoy doing the job, and I'm no Stephen King.
Fair enough.
Okay, your turn. Go.
All right. For me, writing, I loved it, but what I didn't love is spending weeks developing what I thought was a super amazing story, and then nobody wanted to publish it. Or then you had to get it approved and nobody cared. Do you know what I mean? Like, I didn't like the competition aspect of it.
Right. And every working writer out there is rolling their eyes at you right now, but because that is the reality. But yes,
is,
totally
but
fair to not like that.
I didn't like it. I didn't like investing like my heart and soul, and because that's the way I am, into things and then just abandoning them. So
yeah. And the fact is, that is what it means to be a writer. Like, you want to break into comics, unless you are Tom King or Robert Kirkman or Mark Millar, and they all had to do it too, by the way. Like, all of those writers got there by doing that, by doing pitches that get rejected. No one even reads them. No one cares. Or they ask you for a pitch. They string you along. Everything's great. You put so much work into it, and then we're going in a different direction. That happened. Like, it's crazy how it can go. It's a tough go. So yeah, it's not like there are writers out there that just get to skip all that.
yeah, so I just skip it all that and I just write my own stuff now.
Yeah, when you do, right? And you'll do it again, right?
No, I don't know if I'd write comics again. I write my blog and I do my own thing.
Fair enough.
Because it can.
Because no one can stop you.
No one can stop me. I just do what I want, when I want. Yeah, I don't like it when your love of something gets taken away because it has to be approved. And that's part of writing, but that's not how I want to write.
Right. Yeah, it's the job. And I mean, look, the rewards are great. Writers that do it love it. Look, it's worth it. I mean, we all have to make sacrifices, but if it's not worth it, then, there's nothing wrong with that either.
I mean, I love that the stories I've written touch people.
Yeah.
They did. And people seem to enjoy them. So I can say I did that.
Yep.
I still got some stuff that may or may not ever come out.
You do. Pretty far along. It should come out. Like, it'd be a shame if it doesn't.
Well, anyway. Moving right along. Michael Gardner has a super chat. Love the streams, Dave and Meredith. Dave, will there possibly be an artist edition of Skinbreaker? That would be amazing.
We have a collected edition announced, and thank you. We have a collected edition announced. We have other stuff in the works. What I can't do is say this or like it's not for me. Like, you know how much trouble I would get in if I said, "Oh yeah, we have this and this and this and this," and it hasn't been announced yet. Yeah, you think I'm in trouble for deadlines?
Yeah,
that'd be a lot worse. So I can't say, unfortunately, but we do have stuff coming, which I'm very excited about.
Don't get Dave in trouble.
Don't get me in trouble. I need this job. I do need this job. I love this job.
Johnny,
don't want to lose it.
No, Johnny Dominion has a super chat. He says, "I find Dave's lack of X-Men lore disturbing."
I know. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's disturbing when his wife knows more than him.
You know how much I've read so much X-Men, like a lot. My problem is that my retention is terrible. Like, I just forget things.
Apparently, I missed Mystery Meat super chat. I gotta go back.
I watch movies. We've been doing this lately. We watch older movies lately, which has been nice. And I find these are movies that I might have seen multiple times, and it might as well be a new movie for me because I just forget. So, yeah.
All right, Mr. Meat super chat. I did miss. Hey, Mr. and Mrs. Finch, glad to see your live stream. Hope you're all well. An artist I'd like to recommend is Adrian Smith, great at dark fantasy and Warhammer.
40K.
I'm going to write it down. Hold on. I'm going to check it out. And thank you for the recommendation. See, this is where I need my whiteout eraser.
Are you going to do the book of the week?
Yeah. Just tell me when it's ready. Oh, it's ready.
Next
Okay.
time.
Okay, hold on. Let me just, I'm so close to having this figure sketched in. I just want to, we're not going to get them all finished. I knew we wouldn't. I don't know what I was thinking.
I can't tell you.
And the problem is I'm doing all the really boring stuff now too. Things are always more exciting when I'm putting in the lighting and like the, you know, it's more fun. This stuff is like it's like watching paint dry. But
You're laying out you're laying out the base.
laying out the base.
You got to do the hard stuff to have the good stuff.
Yeah, you do. It's true.
What's the happenings here?
Okay, let's just, there's so much detail. Oh, and I screwed it up. You know what? It's going to be close. These are half-an-hour sketches.
This one wasn't.
No, but even to do it, like, I can't be strict with the detail. There's just no way. Even going well beyond, like, strictly speaking, if I had any sense, I would have told John, look, I can't. It's not something I could do in a half an hour. Like, I knew it when I started, but I like him a lot. You like John. He's a great
I
guy.
do like John.
And so I didn't want to say no.
John is one of the OG art buyers.
He is, yeah. I've done so much stuff for him over the years. So, okay, I'm going to stop there and let's do the book of the week and then we'll move on. So the book of the week this week is The Fifth Beatle by Andrew Robinson. Andrew Robinson was a guest on the show a few years ago now. And this book, I have a page of original art actually from this. I'm just going to open it up really anywhere because it's a huge book. Look at how big this is. This is a massive, massive undertaking. All kinds of extras, pencil sketches. I mean, look at all this. This is just the back of the, and by the way, I mean, there's so much more. Like I skipped way ahead into the back of the book even. They put everything in here. Like, look at some of these color sketches. It's just crazy. And script. Anyway. So this is, The Fifth Beatle by Andrew Robinson. This is all drawn. These are on paper, large paper. And it's all done with watercolor. So it's inked first and then watercolor over. And then there's actually a bit of computer on top of it just to brighten up the colors. It's very minimal though. Let's see if I can find the page that I have. I was just looking at, here it is. Okay, let me turn this over. I want to show you guys the original art so you can compare. Okay. So this is the original art. And I dropped my pen. And this is the printed version. So while it's, maybe if I lift my camera a little bit, you'll be able to see this a little better. While it's touched up on the computer, like the yellows are brighter, like you can see in this face here. It's done, like it's a little more yellow. All of the work really is done in the original. And to be honest, I would actually rather see the whole book, if I had my choice, in the raw art form. I think it's beautiful stuff. Like, it's incredible. All these buildings here, this is just done with color. That's all sketched in with watercolor, which is crazy to me that he's able to do it. I don't know how. I don't even see pencil lines in there. But yeah, every page is amazing. Not only in terms of just the color. Let me move this before I wreck it. But the figures themselves, and I've been looking at this book a little bit lately, all of the feet that he does, the hands that he does, his suits, all this stuff is so incredibly natural. All of his movements. I'm sure there's some reference here and there, but really he's an artist I don't think is using a lot of reference. I think this is just all internalized in his head. Like, that hand is very cartooned. Everything is very cartooned, but it's just so believable. Such a great sense of design. And this is all stuff that I really struggle with. Like, those feet right there, those boots, all the hands, talking like all this stuff is that figure there is just incredible. And not it's so well drawn, but it also has so much character. It just feels like what's it? I don't remember the name. Doesn't matter. And it's just page after page of like absolute top quality work. And I wanted to do this as a book of the week too, because I mean, look at this panel. Look at that. I don't think many people have really seen this book. I don't think many people are familiar with it. So, and it's like it's an absolute gem. Every page is just. We went through a whole section of mostly, but yeah, every page is a piece of beautiful artwork. I mean, the color is amazing. And this is, again, watercolor, where you can't just go, oh, you know what, I kind of screwed it up and fix it. Watercolor, you're stuck. So to me, it's like magic seeing an artist that does this well. And I've never seen anybody do it better than this anywhere. And that is aside from, again, all of the incredible figures, the folds and the clothes. It's really, really, like if you look at all these folds, trying to reference life for folds or really anything is very difficult because things don't just naturally have lines. You have to put that in and interpret it. And, you know, hands are very, very complex, all the little wrinkles, all that kind of thing. And so to be able to break things down into such simple shapes and simple forms, I think this book, you can't really beat it for if you're studying hands, if you're studying clothing, feet and shoes, all those the kinds of things that you have to be able to do well to be working in comics. These are essential skills. And it's the kind of thing that we all kind of skip because we want to draw a Superman, you know, blasting through the sky, which, I mean, that's what I want to do too. But this stuff is so difficult to do well, and you just can't find it done better. And I love the fact that it's done in a cartoony style, but a very believable, real cartoony style. Like, look at that hand. Look at that. It's magical. So, you know, it has like a life and a character of its own. And I think it's very easy to interpret. Like, this is something that I think you get a lot out of very, very quickly. Aside from just enjoying how beautiful the book is, every single page. It's incredible. I don't know how much I can't even see my screen because I've got my reference up. So hopefully you guys can see this and not too much of it's off the screen. But yeah, I've had this book for a little while. I actually got the book when I got the original art because I'm a huge fan of Andrew Robinson's work. And it's amazing to me that I haven't done this as a book of the week yet. But I've been looking at this book a lot lately, and it's one of my absolute favorites now. And I'm going to be studying this a whole lot over the next year. So yeah, this is, yeah, we could just look at this all day. It's amazing stuff. This is The Fifth Beatle by Andrew Robinson. And it's, yeah, incredible, amazing work. I would love it if they would do I mean, this is already a nice, big, high quality book, but I would love to see an edition done without the computer colors and just raw watercolor the way it is in the original that I have, because that would be awesome to see. I'd love it. All right. Anyway, book of the week. There you go. Thank you.
Beautiful.
Okay.
All right. If it's book of the week time, then that also means it's time for Meredith to say, hit that like button. I don't know what number I am because it says there's only 32 likes at the current place I am. But I'm sure if I refreshed it, there'd be many, many more. And if you've not already subscribed, 568,000 people must know something. So click on that subscribe button. There aren't special things for, like, there's anything exclusive. Just click the bell notification, I guess, if you want to get, you know, notifications about what Dave's doing when we cancel streams and such.
Do we even notify properly, though?
I don't even know. Eric's responsible for all that. We're, you know, we've got good art here.
Well, hopefully,
We got some good art. We got
hopefully you guys enjoying this one.
some good art instruction.
We're a little off.
Sometimes we got some banter. Sometimes we don't. Sometimes you feel like a nut.
Sometimes you don't.
We don't even fight anymore on stream. Not that much.
Well, we don't.
You know
really-
why it is? You've broken me
we
down to the point I just don't care.
We don't
anymore.
fight in life anymore. Well, I don't sing. No, nobody said it's their birthday, and I used to sing all the time. But
Yeah, no birthdays.
let's read some positive stuff.
All right.
Al Minguez. I hope I said that right. Says, "Hi, Dave Meredith. You're the best. I have a friend, a comic book artist, who's a huge fan of yours. I'd like to cheer him up with a greeting from you. His name is Sebastian Navas. Hello, Sebastian. I hope you're having an amazing day.
Yeah. Hi, Sebastian.
Shout out from Meredith and Dave.
Yeah,
Say it again,
absolutely.
Dave. I talked over you.
Hi, Sebastian. I hope you're having a great day, and I hope work is going well. It's rewarding. I mean, this is a tough job. It can be. It's the most rewarding job, I think, or among the most for sure. But it's a tough job at times. It can be very, very taxing, and where it gets tough is it's competitive, and that can be very hard. So if you're going through any of that, we wish you well.
Oh, and where's that Sonic cover? You're supposed to, Edward said, you said you'd show it. I said no.
Okay, hold
But
on.
you said you would do it.
Okay.
And now I feel badly.
Okay.
Poor Edward was like, you don't have to do it if you don't have it.
I can't even get through here because your chair's blocking.
Well, yeah, I got to be comfy. Oh, no. I thought you knew where I was.
I know pretty well.
You told me your office was organized.
It is.
Now we're going to fight.
There we go. It's gonna be good.
Dooby dooby doo. Da dee da dee da. That's just from convention.
Here it is.
There it is.
Yeah, it wasn't far. It's just...
Well, I got to tell you, he has kept this office very fairly clean.
Okay.
It needs a floor wash, but beyond
So-
that.
Here it is. This is not approved. This actually specifically did not get approved. So I'm just going to tell you, his mouth needs to be way over here more. It's not supposed to be there. This ear needs to be down quite a bit. So I need to shift it down. I already made the hands bigger. I think they're all right with that. His body is too big. So I need to make his body much smaller, and his legs need to be different. So I've got a few things that I need to change. And hopefully once I do that, I'll get it approved and I can ink it and do it. It was a blast to do, even with all the changes. So yeah, anyway, there you go. It's a little loose right now because as it's getting approved, I'm not killing myself. Also, since I'm making it, I'm not killing myself doing super tight pencils on everything. So it'll be, tighter. But there it is so far.
All right. Gracias. Next super chat comes from, it looks like Greg Static Art. Greg says, "Hey Dave, how would you work out the perspective for characters in a rooftop scene?" Hold on. I have a lot of yawns tonight, especially if it's an establishing shot, if that makes a difference.
Okay. So it doesn't matter that it's on a roof because really what you're dealing with is a plane. So you could do, here's a roof. I'm not really using my reference right now. So let me close that so I can see what I'm doing here. I just want to make sure I'm on screen. So here's a roof. I'm going to draw a window and another window and maybe like another building here. Fire. This is all flat to the camera. And then I could draw a character standing here and another character standing here. And they're on the edge of a roof. And that is a rooftop scene. So that's an option. Or I could do like a 3/4. Basically, I'm going to draw a box in perspective. I'm looking down. This is the top of the box. So I'm looking down and it's in like a 3-point perspective. And so when I draw the figures, they just need to be in the same perspective. And obviously you want your figures to be, a size that's reasonable for a building. So here's one figure. Here's another figure. And, here they are. If you want to draw any detail, like let's say I want a chimney here, again, same perspective. I could draw, other buildings around them. It really is. You're drawing a plane in perspective and then figures on that plane. So don't think of it as like a rooftop. I mean, this could be a floor, and I could put a wall here and a wall here, and this could be a door and like a table here. And now I've got a, this is a terrible table, but put something up on the table. Here's a leg, here's a leg. And they're in a room now. They're tiny for that room. It's a mess. I say, hey, yeah, look at that. That'll work. No, let's make the figures size for the room. But the point is that it's just a plane that you're drawing on. I don't know how to help beyond that in terms of just technically how to draw people on a building, because you are drawing a plane and you're drawing people on the plane. They might as well be on the floor. It doesn't matter. Like if I'm looking up at it, obviously you're going to see something different. So I'm looking up at my building. It's in perspective this way. And I've got a figure standing here, and they're going to stay in perspective. And they're standing on top of the building like that. But it's very, very simple. In terms of making an establishing shot, that's a bit of a different thing. What I'd really recommend is, there are so many artists that do it well. Trying to just make up establishing shots of really anything. If you haven't really done it, I really recommend you use some of the resources out there. You don't want to just copy somebody's establishing shot, but you can take ideas from it. And I recommend doing that, because trying to just do things like that on your own, if you haven't done it, is a recipe for a hard time.
All right.
I was just telling Meredith, actually, we have a surprise for Greg coming up pretty soon. I'm very excited about it for Greg L.
Static art.
I think he's going to like it a lot. I'm pumped.
I know you told me what it was. I can't remember, but you don't have to say it now.
I'm not going to say what it is because I want it to be a surprise,
I
but
know you don't want to give it away.
not the easiest thing to pull off either.
Oh, I think I know. I do know. Actually, I do know. I remember now. Now that we just teased it, and now you guys are all left hanging. That's the worst. Why do you do that? That was the worst. So mean.
So it makes it fun.
I don't know that Greg thinks it's fun right now. We left him hanging. The whole stream is wondering what's going on.
Can't say.
So mean.
I will say this. I was able to pull it off partly by invoking Greg and saying he's going to be so freaking thrilled if we can do this. So it would be awesome. So yeah.
So your name was used in vain, Greg.
Does that count? Is it? Yeah.
I don't know.
I guess. There you go.
You got them all roughed in. That's good. That's
Yep.
good.
No, we're making progress. From here, it's actually pretty quick because I can't put a lot of, I brought my brush out and then put it away because there's not much I can do with it. It's got to be fairly simple. Now it really is just line weights, mostly. I could even potentially, I could conceive finishing this because I can't go, the detail is going to be suggested. It has to be. So it is not impossible that I could finish.
Well,
And this is why I say, this part is, what a mess that hand is. Where's my, that's what I dropped. All right. It's going to take a little fixing.
Sometimes you got to fix it.
And now I've got to leave it. Let it dry. Yeah, these are so basically I was having trouble. I couldn't draw sketches at the table when I'm at a convention. It just takes too long. So I started doing remarks, which is a 10-minute, a little tiny head. But then I was taking too long on the remarks and I was having fun with them. And I didn't want to, I get sick of just drawing little heads. And so I was drawing more full figures. So then we came up with a 30-minute remark and a 15-minute remark, trying to be a little bit more realistic about how long they're taking me. They still take me too long. I always end up taking too long. But so this is a 30-minute remark, which means it's very loose. It's going to be not as loose as probably a 30-minute remark, but
by Dave's definition.
but it will be looser than we can go on here sometimes. I don't like it when you go quiet.
Well, I'm just reading the stream. Why do you like? I can't always talk all the time.
You have to. You go quiet, and I'm like, oh no,
Why do you think? Oh no, when I go quiet.
stream's done. Because I don't see it unless you're talking. Because I'm looking down.
Well, it's not my fault. The stream's not done until you say it's done. All right. Did you know, by the way, that K-pop Demon Hunters won the Oscar last night
Oh, really?
for Best Animated Picture?
Great. I saw Michael B. Jordan won for Best Actor, Best Supporting, whatever.
Who that is?
Michael B. Jordan was, he was in Rocky,
Oh, yeah.
and he's also Killmonger in Black Panther.
Okay, yes, I know who that is. He's good.
Yeah.
He's good.
He won against Timothy Chalamet. Do you know who that is?
No.
He was in Dune.
Well, that doesn't help because I didn't watch Dune.
Really? Oh yeah, no, yeah. I watched that with somebody
Okay.
else. That's right. Okay. Well, anyway, he's good. If I had to pick, I'm going with Killmonger over, and he won. So there you go.
Dune?
He didn't. Neither of them won for good roles, though. They won for like artsy roles. That's how it works. I'm not saying that. I don't know.
That's
I didn't
a
watch it
terrible
either.
thing to say.
I didn't even watch it, so don't listen to me. I don't know. I'm going to put it this way: if a movie wins an Oscar, I consider that to be a very good sign that it's not a movie I want to watch.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That sounds like you.
Like I can't think of a movie in 20 years that has broken that trend. You know what? There's probably a Quentin Tarantino movie in there. So, but
Oh, I'm sure. You're so cynical.
I know.
So like, oh, I don't want to watch that movie.
So I botched my line here. It didn't match the other side, and I could break out the white eraser and fix it, or I could just put another line in there and then make it even on both sides that way, which is what I did. Always easier to add detail to fix something than to have to erase. Is there anyone here that hasn't heard the Wallywood rule? I'm sure you guys have all heard it by now.
And out, black it out.
That's right. Black or detail it out. Either way.
All right, I got another super chat for you from Greg. Greg says, I believe he won for Sinners, which is absolutely worth the watch.
I don't believe you. I'm not watching it. I know it's a bad movie because it won an Oscar. You know what? I'll have to. The name sounds pretty good. I'll give you that. So maybe it's good.
How could it be bad with a name like Sinners?
I know. Yeah. If it's like John Wick, then I'm all in. Basically, that's what it comes down to.
John Wick or die.
Pretty much. We just watched a movie with Matt Damon.
Yeah, that was good.
The Instigators.
That was a good one.
It was. It's a good movie. Him and Casey Affleck.
Again, they're great together.
Yeah. Written apparently by Casey Affleck and somebody else, but yeah, it was good. We watched that last night. Well, 2 nights. Nobody stays up late enough to watch a whole movie.
Yeah, no, we can't watch a whole movie in one sitting. You know you're old when.
Yeah. Watch a whole movie? Are you kidding?
No, he's gonna do that.
So I'm actually not really looking at reference at this point, and that is because I do not have the ability to really properly detail this. It's going to have to be suggestive detail. So with that in mind, I don't really need to be looking at reference to make it perfectly detailed.
It's not like Wick. American Discord says.
I didn't think it would be.
It's a horror movie.
Oh.
Oh, no, no.
Okay.
Then Meredith will not watch it.
I can't believe
You're definitely going to watch it.
First of all, how did a horror movie win an Oscar? How is that even possible? Horror movies are my favorite. So I will definitely watch it now. I feel bad for doubting Greg. Speaking of, things for you guys watching. Next week is Henry Jeremick's stream.
Oh, we're
going to be doing ROM Space Night.
Okay, because he keeps saying write it down on your board.
I don't need to.
Did you see it on the stream?
No,
because he's been bugging. He's like all night long. He's been throwing that out there.
Okay, yeah, no. When I looked up earlier, I saw him chat. I didn't actually even see what he said because I was in a hurry, but I saw he was there, and so it just occurred to me. But yes, that's coming. So next week, ROM Space Night.
There you go, Henry. Your wish is his command.
And I don't need to write it down because
that's what we're doing.
It's been on my mind.
It's been said, so now it will be.
Does that look even sort of anime?
No, it looks like Dave Finch.
I know. See, I told you.
Why?
And I'm. What do you mean? Why? I told you.
Try to make it like it's anime.
Why?
It's just...
Why not? Why not try when I know it's just going to look like my stuff anyway? At least it'd be closer. Somewhat. I don't know. Like I think if I really wanted to just, like I could straight up copy it and it would look more anime, but there actually really would be no point in doing that.
Yeah. Why would you do that?
That is a little how I feel with Sonic right now. They're so careful to make sure that it's on character model. And the thing is, it doesn't go through editorial. This is through IDW. But when you draw Sonic, Sega actually has say, and they do not care. They want Sonic to look like freaking Sonic. There's no such thing as interpretation. And that's why I'm sucking it up and I'll keep working on it until we get it right, because I know there's nobody there that's going to say, oh, it's fine.
And there's no, oh, it's Dave Finch. So
right. So I either do it or I walk away, and I'm doing it because I want to do it. So
you're not going to walk away.
Not my nature.
No, it's not.
I want to paint it. That is my plan, to paint it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to ink it entirely and turn it in inked. And then I'm going to paint it. And most likely the painting will never get published, because based on how difficult it's been for me to get the drawing approved, I can imagine the painting. Like it'd be problem.
Oh, you'd be wasting your time.
I think I might actually. I'm so busy.
I don't know why you would. Why you waste your time.
I honestly probably won't even paint it.
Foolishness. You don't have enough time in the day to get your job done as it is.
All right, fair enough. You know what?
There are better things to paint.
You
actually appreciate it.
Don't have to convince me. I already know approval for that would be impossible.
Listen to your wife.
I could be totally wrong, and painting and be like, whatever, they don't care. But I don't think so.
Is that really the idea, the sense that you got?
The sense that I got? No.
No, that's not the sense that I got from them at all. That's somebody's job, and that's their only job, and they take that job very seriously.
Yeah. Well, don't start attacking that job, because it's hard enough to get approved as it is. If they hear you do that, I'm sunk. I should do more art like this, where it's, all the work is in the sketch, and then the lighting is just super fast. This is like doing Peanuts. There's not that much I could do, so it just goes fast.
Okay, I got a couple more super chats for you. Allison McGlone has a super chat. Allison says, Dave is drawing anime. I'm doing Kevin Eastman.
Hey, there you go. We're all coming out of our comfort zone a little bit.
And then,
So is she doing a Ninja Turtle?
I don't know. It must be. What do I know?
Well, that would be, I mean, I don't know either, but most likely.
And then Drew Chick says, good evening, Dave and Meredith. Hope that all is well.
It really is. And hopefully all is well with you too. Thank you for being here.
It'd be better if spring would like warm up.
It would be, but it's on the way.
Not gonna happen.
And yeah, it's funny. Like I'm behind with work. I know when I turn stuff in, or I'm assuming I'm going to get the, okay, look, we need to talk. You know, you need to be on schedule a little bit. Despite that, I don't even care. Like I'm enjoying working on this stuff so much. And yeah, it's good times. I'm having a great time. So I'll turn in my work and take it on the chin when they are a little upset that I'm behind.
When they elect you.
Yeah.
Russ Hicks says, my kids love K-pop Demon Hunters and are watching this, both thinking it's looking awesome.
Oh, well, thank you.
So there you go.
Oh, that's nice. I appreciate it. I hope they're drawing along a little bit.
Oh, my feet are getting cold down here.
This is another type of a stream where I think, okay, we've got to be losing a decent portion of people watching just because this is so different for me. But it's fun to do just kind of different things sometimes. Next week, it'll be ROM Space Night. Much more up my alley.
Oh, sorry.
More my comfort zone.
More in your comfort zone. All right. Spooderman has a super chat. Hey, Dave, how do you push yourself to draw if you don't want to? And what's the best way to practice drawing figures in simple life forms or comics?
The best way to practice drawing figures? Is that what the question?
The best way to practice drawing figures in simple forms, life or comics?
Okay, I'm going to straight up tell you my opinion. Take this as it is. I'm always a little reluctant to say this because it's very easy to... I'm a little self-conscious about it. I'll put it that way. I feel a little judged when I say this, but it is the truth. And I feel like I'm just lying if I don't say, I'll tell you guys the truth. And that is comics. This is how I learned. I learned not from drawing from life. I learned from drawing comics, like drawing from my favorite artists. That's a fact. And even artists that draw from life and do a lot of that and do it well, still learn from other illustrators or comic artists. It's such an important resource. So yes, I think both are very valid. Like you look at Andrew Robinson, you're not getting that entirely from just looking at other artists. Like he's, okay, maybe I just want to believe this and he can just do it and doesn't have to look at anything at all. But I like to believe that he's taking some reference shots just to get some of those natural poses. I don't really know though, but I will say when I look at his work, I can see Mort Drucker, the Mad Magazine artist. Like there are a few, not so much comic influences, but definitely comic adjacent influences like Mad Magazines. There are a few of those kinds of artists that I can see very strongly in his work. So, and that comes from studying other artists' work. And if Andrew Robinson is going to do it, I'd say that validates the whole concept. Yeah. Look, I think the correct answer for me to give you would be to say, I shouldn't have done that, is to say do both. The actual answer that I have is if you want to draw comics, you need to look at comics. And I think it's the most important. Depends on the kind of artist you want to be. And that's a factor too. Do you want to be like a high action, like Greg Capullo does everything so well though. Do you want to be like Stephen Platt? You know, that's who I want to draw like. I'll tell you that right now. Or do you want to be like, you know, Andrew Robinson? Very different kinds of artists, a very different approach. You have to make that decision. And you have to bear in mind when you make that decision, they result in very different careers too, you know? You know, one career path, you get to the pinnacle of it and hopefully you can draw, you know, Batman and X-Men and those kinds of things. Very difficult to achieve that drawing in more of a cartoony, a style that goes outside of, you know, I guess the mainstream comic book norm. But if that's not what you love, there is so much room for success in other areas of the field. So what I know is superheroes, and that's where I'm comfortable. So I'm no one to ask when it comes to the other stuff.
All right.
That was a very long answer for a very simple question. I'm sorry.
No, that's you. Allison said that her editor challenged her. They wanted something grittier, so she's doing her own character in an Eastman adjacent style.
Oh, nice. Okay. Well, that sounds very cool. I'm looking forward to seeing how that comes out. It's very difficult to just completely. I've never had to do it. I felt pressured to work differently. I'd say the number one time for me, like where I really felt pressure, was coming from Top Cow and starting at Marvel, because just the entire workflow was so different. And also the work that Marvel was really, like, they were really going in an indie direction. Joe Quesada being an incredible, you know, superhero artist, one of my big influences, but also he loves writers and he loves different kind of quirky things. And they were experimenting with that a lot at the time. And they were also doing widescreen format, which is like the Brian Hitch. And I had no experience working that way. I worked the image, you know, anchor panel, things hanging out of the panel. Like that was the style that I was more comfortable with. And it was a lot of hard decisions of, you know, do I just keep doing the same kind of work that I want to do and heck with it, and this is what I do, or do I want to try to adapt? And I tried to adapt, you know. So I picked up a lot of things from it. Like I have no regrets about that. But yeah, tough to do. But it's an advantage of being an artist. You know, you're an actor, and like especially if you're a child actor, you have a window. Whereas an artist, you can reinvent yourself as much as you want, as much as you have the energy to do.
I mean, some child actors.
Okay,
go on.
sure, of course, but you get my point.
I mean, didn't Macaulay Culkin have the greatest Super Bowl commercial? Was it this year?
Did he?
Wasn't it like the Google Home commercial or something?
Oh, yeah. All right. Yeah.
So, you know.
Well, Kurt Russell, you know.
Yes. You say that because we just watched, what did we just watch? Tombstone?
Tombstone, that's right.
Yeah, that was good. Going back to the oldies.
Yep. Back to the well. Oh, there's something about being able to just quickly draw like this that is very relaxing.
Well, the hard part's done.
Well, it wouldn't be if this was a tight drawing, but it is because it's not. So yeah, very relaxing. It was a long part of my career where I could never loosen up like this. I couldn't do it. It took me a long time to get comfortable with doing that.
Just enjoy drawing.
Drawing loosely, I don't know, maybe it comes naturally for some people, but for me, I'm trying hard so much all the time.
Yeah,
and
you're so detail focused.
Well, and I feel like if I don't put it in and it's not perfect, then the pictures, you know, so I just couldn't let go. It took me a long time to.
Well, I see it even still in your painting where I'm like, that painting is done.
Yeah.
You can't let go.
No, and then I kill it.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
I mean, it doesn't happen anymore. It happened a lot more early on.
Yeah.
We'll be like, that looks amazing.
Oh no, and it's gone. Yeah.
And now there it is. Yeah. Oh, wow. Lessons learned in life.
Well, it's not just lessons. It's a necessary part of the process. I mean, some people learn faster, but I don't. So, I'm not going to get better at something without making those kinds of mistakes. So, can you even really call them mistakes?
No.
Yeah, you pretty much can. But you learn from them.
That's right. That's all that matters. Keep the hope alive.
Yep.
Oh, your sister's on here.
Oh, hey.
Hey, Leslie.
Good to see you on here at least. We haven't talked in ages.
No,
It's Mother's Day just passed, right?
no,
No? Somebody
no.
said that.
Believe me, I'll let you know when it's Mother's Day.
Maybe it's Mother's Day.
I told you did I say I wanted something for Mother's Day this year? Oh, yeah. We were talking about Mother's Day, and I told you I wanted you to make me my breakfast. That same breakfast that you
Oh,
made me
yeah,
last
that's
year.
right.
That's
Okay.
why you're thinking Mother's Day.
All right.
It was Mother's Day in the UK.
That's why I'm thinking that. Okay, so I was watching a YouTube channel about Formula One, and the guy was wishing his mother happy Mother's Day, and I thought, oh no, it's Mother's Day. I had no idea. Well, there you go. Okay,
Oh, and your mom's birthday's coming up soon.
yeah, it is this month.
Can't forget.
Yep. So, how are your horses doing?
Lunch are good. Got expecting our first baby soon for the year. Hopefully everything goes well.
Yeah, we just brought her in the barn for the first night tonight. Eventually, they need to kind of come in to, you don't want them having a baby outside.
No,
So
It's
tonight's
not
our
very-
first night in. It should be early, but
she's not going to fool tonight. But
just to be sure. So why is she in tonight if you're sure?
because you got to give them some time to just get acclimatized to the stall again.
Oh, okay. Well, she seemed pretty comfortable right away.
Well, that's because I put her in the same stall she's always in.
Yeah.
But yeah, then she can just have a nice little snooze, and she's got a nice comfy bed.
This is, by the way, going to be a pretty interesting pregnancy, special, hopefully. So we bred her. I say we. I didn't do it. This is all Meredith, but Meredith bred her to our stud last year, and this will be the first baby from our stud, and we'll see how it turns out, and hopefully it turns out well.
Hopefully so.
It's a heck of a thing watching them.
Just looking at the camera. I think she's. Let me see. She's standing up. I can't. She's back there. I can see her. She's standing up. She's just snoozing on her feet. She's snoozing on her feet. Are there any chickens left? Extreme maybe wants to know. Yes, I got 5 new ones.
Yep.
And I got 5 more coming.
Oh, see, I didn't know that.
Yeah, Danielle's gonna give us 10.
All right.
She's giving me 5 free because I gifted her that incubator that was gifted to me.
Right.
And I said I would pay for them, but then I'm going to pay for. I insisted on paying for the next 5. And we have a zombie chicken now.
Yes.
Look that up on your Google.
It is pretty cool looking. It's a chicken, kind of with black feathers and some.
No, she's got black skin
Right.
and white feathers, and then the occasional black feather.
Very cool looking.
So she's very cool.
Our experience with different types of chickens in terms of laying eggs, though, not the strongest. We'll see how that
I don't
goes.
know, our chickens are doing all right. Even the old, we used to have one OG chicken left, one from the original 5.
Right.
She is a massive chicken, and she's still laying an egg. I mean, she only lays in the spring, and then she doesn't lay, like, she's got, maybe 20 eggs in her. for the
She's
year.
been working on the same egg for 6 months now.
Well, as soon as the days start getting shorter,
Yep.
they slow their egg production down. So.
Yeah.
One Mighty says, I want chicken so I can have free eggs. Prices here in the States have been unstable since 2020.
Oh, yeah. Here, too. Now, you get free eggs, and
But
that
it
is
costs
nice.
money because you got to buy the chicken.
You still have
and
to
you
feed
got
the
to buy
chickens.
the chicken feed, and you got to house the chicken, and
Yeah. Nothing in life is free.
until you start like making your own chickens, little baby chickens, and that's not what we're doing.
Yeah. That's a limit.
M. Glock says, weren't all the horses at the vet not long ago? No. The vet can't, like we have the vet out. We had her out maybe a little bit to give some vaccinations and put in some microchips, but no,
Well,
knock on wood.
And there was that person, that in January had a couple of horses.
Oh, that was yes. So maybe that's what M. Glock is thinking,
That's what I'm thinking.
that another gypsy breeder had 3 horses in Minnesota. She is. And then we auctioned off those 2 pieces of artwork for that. Yes, she was in Minnesota, and 3 of her horses came down with botulism, and because we raised that money, they all managed to stay in the hospital as long as they needed to, and they're home. And now even Icy is outside; she's able to come out of the stall, so that's very good. So it was worth it. We saved a life.
Yep. Well, the doctors really, but
Yeah. Well, nobody had to make a hard decision because you couldn't pay the vet bill anymore and you had to put your horse down. So. Mike Mayart says, when I was streaming, I often was doing 100-hour drawing. In the last hour of the stream, I would swap to a loose drawing, and it was incredibly relaxing. Mind massage.
Yep. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, this is so much more relaxing. The one thing about this, though, is so I can always tell when I'm doing a stream that really is more geared to my audience. Put it that way. And I can tell when I'm doing a stream that's maybe just, not for everyone. It seems like the chat's a little slow.
You're such a complainer.
It's not a complaint.
Yeah, you're such a complainer.
I love doing these kinds of. It's not actually so much complaining. You know what it is? It's just being self-conscious. Like, oh, what if nobody wants to watch this? Because
this is your own insecurity coming out.
it is. It totally is.
So
You're
stop
right.
right there, because now I'm going to sing happy birthday to Mike May Art's mom.
All right, great.
Because she turned 89.
8.
today.
Wow. Well, that's deserved. That's for sure.
Happy birthday to Mike May Art's mom. Happy birthday to Mike May Art's mom. Happy 89th birthday to Mike May Art's mom. Happy birthday to you. And many more. Because you want all that you can have.
Yeah, of course.
Can't be that bad, Dave. We got 524 likes. People like K-pop.
That's
Stop
great.
being so,
Hey, it is what it is. I actually, so there in
so insecure.
Look, there are easier paths in life than drawing for an audience, and I think it goes hand in. Like, we're all insecure. Anybody that takes this kind of
Oh, I'm not.
you're not. Well, good for you. That's great. That's awesome. Like, whatever the actual number of people that are currently watching is, don't you dare tell me. I don't know. I never look.
No, I can't see.
And I don't
how many
look
people are watching.
because then I start worrying about it, and it's no good.
All right. Well, I have another birthday song I have to sing now.
Oh, okay.
Because
Hold on, let me find it. Somebody just said it was her 50th birthday. Now I've lost it.
50.
50.
Ancient.
King of Arkanar. I hope I said that right. The King of Arkanar says, today is my 50th birthday. So, happy 50th birthday to the King of Arkanar. Happy 50th birthday to the King of Arkanar. Happy 50th birthday. Happy 50th birthday. Happy 50th birthday to the King of Arkanar.
That's great.
See, you still love me. Black Tiger has a super chat. How do you do army kit, plate carrier, and pouches on a crouched woman, one woman type, chest factor? Does it need to end up looking bulky?
Okay, sorry. On a tight woman chest factor.
Wonder Woman type, like a chest of Wonder Woman's proportions.
And now these are pouches, like army
Like
pouches.
Army kits. Like an army kit, like a plate carrier. I don't know what a plate carrier is.
Oh,
On a crouched woman, like pouches on a crouched woman. Do you get
no, I'm assuming these pouches would have to be on the chest for it to be an issue with the chest.
maybe?
Okay. This will be quick, and we're doing all right. Well, it's 9:56, but or 8:56. Dropping my tools. All right. So I need to be careful because I've got some ink over here. So she's crouched over. So let's draw her. Here's her neck. Here's her head. Tell me that I'm in the screen, Meredith.
Yep.
Okay.
No,
You know what?
hold on,
Actually,
I
here.
got a delay.
I can just get rid of my reference. I haven't been looking at it for an hour anyway. Okay.
Are you in the screen?
Yeah, I'm fine.
I got a delay, so I can't tell.
Okay.
There's always a delay.
So here's my basic chest shape. I'm gonna draw my breasts on top of there. I want to make sure. So I've got my my pecs essentially, and the breasts extend from the pecs. It's a problem if you just float them. Like you want them to have. I'm gonna tighten this up in a minute too, so it doesn't look like a mess. But and then I've got my rib cage kind of below that. So let's tighten this up. Sharpen my pencil. I'm a lefty and my microphone's on the left, so I hit it constantly. And you might think, why would you not just put the microphone on your right?
I mean, that's a valid question.
It is. I don't have an answer, actually. I really don't know why I wouldn't. So there you go. Like Wonder Woman type. I don't want to go like extremely large. But there you go. To do pouches, so what I'm going to do is, first of all, lighten this down because I don't want it to just conflict. I'm going to draw, I'm going to make a few assumptions. So here's a plate. And what I want to do is make sure that my plate kind of conforms to that underlying form. See how that kind of, like, you can give it a bit of a curve up here, but as long as you have that kind of working, then you're not going to look bulky doing that. And then I'm going to give it, you know, here's a strap, another strap here to hold it on, put another strap over here. If I wanted to put pouches there, I wouldn't normally make that choice, but let's just say that we're going to make that choice. I'm going to erase again. And so to draw my pouch, my form is basically coming around like this. So I want my pouch to be like a square like this. Lighten it down again now that I have that. And so I've got my top flap here. I have a feeling I'm really misinterpreting the question he was asking, but I'm just going with it. It's an
You
experiment.
can learn something from everything.
Can we make this work? I don't know. Like design choice wise, I wouldn't do this. But there you go. There's a pouch. And I don't think that's going to make her look bulky. I would not make that decision as a design. But, you know, if you were to, I don't think it makes it bulky doing that. It really comes down to it's similar to this, except that I'm much more streamlined to the body. Like I've made a really bulky piece for his arm here. Whereas his arm, I'm looking at the other guy that I did earlier. Whereas this, I stayed much closer to what's, you know, the form underlying. I hope that is somewhat what you meant.
Gravy movies. Does David like working on blank art cards?
Yeah, I did a bunch of them actually. I did a bunch of painted ones, and it was a blast. Yeah, they're fun. I did one black and white one last year at OAX. I did a bunch of color ones, like a bunch of painted ones. Basically, I paint a lot with Eric Grove, who
Our moderator extraordinaire.
And
Russex.
also my co-host at times, and we'll be doing something again soon. Although next time we have Eric.
Am I getting fired?
Oh no! Next time we have Eric on, we have you on too, and so
no, I don't share.
Oh, you'll be fine.
No, Eric. No, I'm not sharing. Spotlight is all mine. Of course, I'm kidding.
Yeah, I know. Eric knows.
As long as the microphone's on, I'm kidding.
So, yeah. Since I'm going to be wrapping up in just a minute, I just want to say.
You're wrapping up in just a minute?
Yep.
Where'd you go?
We will be here next week, barring, you know, we'll be here next week. And
I think.
We'll be drawing Rom Space Night for Henry and in honor of Sal Buscema. And then ideally what I'm trying to arrange to have happen, and we will see whether it works or not, is I'd like to have an artist stream and have a guest artist. And I've got a few that I've talked to, very, very excited about. I've got one in particular that I've been working on for a while. I'm going to see if I can get that solidified, and we'll be doing that. It's been a while since we've had an artist on, and so that's why talking about Eric, you know, being a co-host, that's what made me think of it. So yeah, that's coming too. Eyeballs. I'm not going to do it with this pen. It's too. As soon as I get their eyes in, Meredith, we're done.
All right.
Why I do this last, I don't know. I actually, yeah.
I don't know.
Somebody I think in Chicago has asked me, like, why do you do that? And I actually don't have an answer, but I do. And I've said this before, but I always draw the pupils.
It's how you give soul to the picture, and you're not ready to give them a soul until you've finished.
Yes.
A personality. They don't really have a personality till you give them their eyes.
I always draw the pupils really small first, because if I draw it in the wrong spot, it's really easy to fix. And then once, just even with the spot, I can tell if the eyes are going to line up the way that I want them to, and then I can finish from there.
Yeah, there you go. You know why you do these things. You don't need me to tell you. We got 2 out of 3 eyes done.
Oh, they're all done. I'm just fixing nose a little messy.
Somebody told me how to fix that, but
So I had to fix what? Oh, being behind.
yeah.
See, I should have done the eyes earlier, because now I'm seeing like some issues with my. There we go. All right, I'm going to sign it. We're done. K-pop Demon Hunters. There you go. That was fun.
It was fun.
All
I
right.
was worried because when we got started and you got derailed, I was thinking it's never going to happen.
Yeah, I didn't think it was either.
But yeah, look at you. You got her done.
Yep. All right.
That's great. John's gonna be thrilled.
I certainly hope so. Thank you, everyone, for sticking around and watching something again very different. We've been doing that kind of a lot lately. So, yeah, thanks
Keeping
for
it
bearing
fresh.
with. Yeah,
We're
keeping it fresh.
fresh.
Next week will be ROM Space Night, which is certainly fresh for me. I've never done that. That's a first. Should be an absolute blast. And speaking of drawing characters with like armor and all that kind of thing, that will be certainly next week. So I hope everyone has a great week. And we will see you. You know what? Let me hold my mouse in my hand so I can hit end. I always do this. I say goodbye, and then I'm
You got
following
a
around.
big smudge of black on your head.
Do I? Oh, you know what? Yeah. It's because I have,
Other side.
because I'm looking. You know what? We'll deal with that in a minute. All right. We'll see you next week, everybody.
All right,
Good night.
bye.